Right, this is where we're up to. So the bike internal wiring is mostly done. I've got the rear wiring all set up. Brake line down here, which came up, and then because of the way the frameworks had to come up and then come back, I've got everything coming out of the top of the backbone underneath here. And I've got everything from the bottom coming up through here. Just one word about that. If anyone's going to do this, make sure that you drill through not only this, but this. I got caught out. I already had a hole here and thought I was going to run the wiring up, and then realized too late that this is welded onto this. So of course you've got to drill through that plate, but it wasn't too hard. I just had to drop the swing arm, had access to it, and I was able to get a hole through there. Everything's run to the starter motor. That's all joined up. Coil, all nice and neat. And the little oil pressure line. And round to the front. Headlight wires and everything else that's going to connect up to the headlights and to the handlebars. So that just leaves getting the handlebars wired up, which will be the next job. The challenge I've set myself with these handlebars, which are a 60 style street tracker unit, is to run all the wiring internally. What we're going to need to add is the top mount, the Motogadget Motoscope Mini with the idiot lights, brake system, turn signals with their internals, and also extensions for the mirrors, grips, this beautiful throttle from Messner. It's a work of art. Switch gear for both sides, and everything is going to run off this, which is the Motogadget Mo.Button. And if you don't know about this, turns all the signals from all this wiring into a digital protocol, and through just this one green wire that goes back, that'll run back to the Motogadget M.Unit to run everything. I've got some work ahead of me. Okay, so got the handlebars mounted back on the bike because I need to drill the holes for where the brake lines need to go through, and for the switch gear on both sides. Before I mount the brake, I'll need to figure out where the throttle goes. I got this from Messner in Germany. I really liked it because it's such a clean look. And I'm going to make my own throttle cables for this thing. Hopefully we can get it to fit around the brake. Okay, let's get on with it. So when mounting these switches, you need to take into account that you don't want to be looking down around under here for your switches. Probably a good rule would be to have the middle one probably in line with your eyesight as best as you can figure it out. And obviously this needs to be drilled at the halfway point. So I think we can get that marked out there. Right, so I've got all the holes drilled for this turn switches. And just working out the direction of where the M button's going to go, because it's going to be inside here. And then what has to come in and out for the Motogadget computer and the lights. And I've got another hole under here. The wires will go through these and through that and then down. So handlebars are now mounted. Finally, all the wires are run internally. They come down through a hole through the Cognito Moto unit, and my buddy Gordon did all the drilling for that on his milling machine, which he got absolutely spot on. So the wiring has a little bit of room to move. Everything runs down. You get to be connected up, obviously, with the wires that come out of the frame here. I've got everything here started to be laid out on the electrical box. I've been using this as a bit of a test bed to check that everything was working on the switch gear, and I've got lights, turn signals, horn start. Everything is good there. This was a lot of work. This was 3 days of taking the bars on and off the bike over to the workbench, and I made 3 revisions to the wiring system. So a little bit more of a challenge than I initially expected, but well worth the effort because it's so clean, uncluttered. In fact, the only real wire that you can see is this for the brake, and that feeds back into the handlebars itself. A little bit more work to connect everything up, but well on the way. I didn't really do any video of the actual work as I'm doing it on the bench because, in all honesty, this has been nearly 9 days to get the bike to this point. It's been a lot of work, and it would have been boring as shit to film, just running wires. So I think it's just better to show you the result afterwards. But very, very pleased with how it's come out, and looking forward now to getting everything connected. So, more soon.